Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Classic here to chop it up with you again. Another boxing card that's coming up later on today. Joe Smith Jr. versus Steve Geffrard. Joe Smith Jr. is making his first title defense after a hard fight against Maxim Vlasov that happened early in the early part of last year. I don't know what to expect from this fight because his opponent is a late replacement. The person that he was supposed to fight, the contender that he was supposed to fight was Callum Johnson. If you remember, Callum Johnson's the fighter that fought Artur Beterbiev, was on the zone card if I remember correctly, and it was a close fight. I think he knocked Beterbiev down, and then it was later on stopped. I don't know what to expect from Smith. He's a hard fighter. He fights hard. He lays it all out on the line. But the thing is, his last fight, I don't think he won that fight. When I look at my scorecard that I have, I scored the fight for Vlasov 116-112 in that fight. And that was for a vacant belt. And the thing that I find interesting in that is Andre Ward's scorecard, the unofficial scorecard. He had it a draw. Now, I'm not going to give him too much slack. I'm not going to chop him up too much. The reason why I'm not going to do that is because he was also commentating on the fight while he was scoring it. I never understood why someone would be put in that predicament. It's not fair. If you're going to score the fight, you have to be focused on that fight. They should have an unofficial score. Let these guys commentate on the fight. Andre Ward had it a score. Maxim Vlasov was clearly the better boxer. So you would think Andre Ward, being a great boxer, would appreciate the boxer. But that wasn't the case. So the home fighter, the A side fighter, got the benefit of the doubt, not only on his card, but also on all three of the judges' cards. Because in my opinion, I thought it was a 116-112, and I didn't think it was that difficult to score. So it is what it is. We're moving forward. Callum Johnson was supposed to be the opponent, and he fell out because of COVID. COVID does it again. Another fight, potentially good card, potentially good fight because I think the card is shit. But another potentially good fight that is in the wastelands of boxing for this COVID run that we've had. So let's see what happens with Callum Johnson moving forward if he gets another shot. Where what's going to happen with his position? But this fight is interesting because it's the theater of the unknown. Steve Geffrard coming in after losing his pro debut by TKO, after I think he received a cut and he was unable to continue, and then losing his second fight. He's coming in on an 18 fight win streak against a bunch of nobodies. So, is he a diamond in the rough? We're about to find out. He has a pretty decent amateur background. He was decently touted, and Steve Cunningham is his coach. So you know he's a superb coach. He teaches his boxers the fundamentals. Very solid coaching in between the rounds. So let's see what he brings to the table and what Steve brings to the table against a guy, in my opinion, is close to being shot because of the amount of damage that he takes. Now, I'm not trying to beat down on Joe Smith. I like Joe Smith. I think he's a very fun fighter to watch. He upset Eleider Alvarez when he fought him. I thought Eleider Alvarez was going to get that victory. I think the world of Eleider Alvarez, but you know, when you make a little money, you tend to fall back sometimes. The killer instinct doesn't always stay in all the fighters. Now, I do think Joe Smith Jr. has that killer instinct. He has the will, he has the heart, but he's taking a lot of damage in his fights, and that's what makes me concerned. So let's see what Steve brings to the table. Let's see what Joe brings to the table, and he's gonna have to look impressive because he was gifted that victory. So you have to make good on that gift. Can't come into this fight and not look impressive when Vlasov and you put on that great of a fight. You have to make good on that gift that they gave you. Now I'm gonna pull up the guide real quick so I can tell you guys what time the fight is. I think it's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. It's gonna be coming on after the UFC bout that starts at 7. So the boxing card, the top ranks first boxing card of the year, is gonna start at 10 p.m. So remember what we're doing, this little challenge that we have that we started with the Luis Ortiz and the Charles Martin pay-per-view card. All the big cards from PBC, Fox, Showtime, all the big cards on ESPN, ESPN Plus, Top Rank, all the big cards on the Zone, from Golden Boy and Matchroom. We're gonna rate the cards from top to bottom, the main broadcast, not the all the undercards when everyone's trying to pad their records and stuff like that. And we're seeing a lot of prospects. I'm not talking about those fights. I'm talking about once the main broadcast starts, we're gonna give all these cards a grade. And every month we're gonna pick a victor, and then we're gonna move on, so on as the months progress. Should have 12 cards by the end of the year, and then we're gonna see what was the best card the entire year. So, yeah, we have something to look forward to for tomorrow, and yeah, let's see what that card has in store for us. Because I'm not really too impressed with what I saw. I saw the weigh in. None of the fighters really looked too drawn out. So I don't think they're too dehydrated. So that shouldn't be a factor. I was looking at a lot of the fighters that's on that card, and I don't really know much of them. I know Abraham Nova. I've seen him fight before, but his opponent William Encarnacion, I've never seen fight before. So it's going to be a lot of unknowns that I'm going to be able to take a look at and get familiar with. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with that. Sport of boxing, man. There's a lot of fighters out there that deserve opportunities, and we got to get acclimated with some of these fighters. All right, so I look forward to discussing this fight with you post, because I don't like to do I don't want to do the live fights while the fights are going on. There's a lot of other channels that do that. People that come to my channel post fight, after the fight's been over, and I go live, we could talk about the results. I want you guys, I want my audience to be able to watch the fight, enjoy the fight, score the fight, and then come chop it up with your boy after the fact, so we can have an intelligent conversation. So I'm going to be building up towards that point where I'm going to be able to have phone calls come in and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to figure out the live chats and all that stuff. So just bear with me, and we're going to make it happen. All right. Eminent Sports Broadcasting, and we out. All right, y'all boys.